Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast. This is episode 95. And first off, we just want to say a massive thank you for all the purchases with the merch, all the support. It's been absolutely mental. We were very, very excited to drop it. I think in the process, like seeing the early illustrations from Catherine and just like how it's turning out, we were so pumped. But we still did not expect the reception that we got at all from it. So thank you so much, everyone, for the support. And yeah, we'll keep rolling. We'll keep doing our thing and keep this community going.
I can't wait to see them out in the wild. Now that I know that they're out there somewhere,
we're just going to a sound running meet, and everyone's just wearing our faces. It'd be
I think we said also it's quite distinctive.
Yeah.
Like
you can that's what's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm so excited for all that, and just it makes me very happy. It makes all of us very happy to have the support and just feel that sense of community with everyone and all that. So we appreciate it a lot. But this episode is once again brought to you by CamelBak, and today we have Olli taking on the task of the ad read. So Olli, take it away.
Yeah, so I'm going to use George's bottle as an example of some fun facts about CamelBak. He's already dinged it at the bottom here. Looks like it's held up strong.
How high was the drop?
High. Got out of the car, too many things in my hand, and then the operator error completely. No fault at all. CamelBak would make that clear. And then I just smashed it on the road. And then I had to take a hammer. Like it wouldn't sit straight anymore, so I had to take a hammer and like hit the bottom to make it flat again. And now it's perfect still.
It's perfect.
Even using a hammer, look at that. There's like barely any.
I really put it through the ringer.
Put it through the ringer.
And it's in great working order.
It's dishwasher safe. And you do not microwave it. So don't stick it in there with your
B-dubs.
With your B-dubs.
Mm-hmm.
When you're reheating your B-dub wings,
yeah.
Do not put your CamelBak in there.
Do not put your CamelBak in there. I actually was able to get one of these bottles and use it for the workout this morning. And I was very impressed because it was sitting in the sun for the whole workout. And then I took a nice sip of cold water. It was unreal.
Water.
It's going
yeah,
great.
like if you'd like some CamelBak, Coffee Club, all caps, no spaces, 20% off. And yeah, I mean, I'm loving my CamelBak at the moment. It's a good size, but the cup holder thing, that's a bit of an issue for me.
That's on Tesla though, not CamelBak.
I'm sending a nice paragraph to Elon Musk to be able to have CamelBak sponsored Coffee Club cup holders that you can like put in, and it like has an upper like thing where you can just dunk it in the top. But yeah, I'm loving my CamelBak at the moment, and like the logo looks sweet. So yeah, if you guys want some, Coffee Club, all caps, no space, 20% off.
Hell yeah, check them out. Give them some
out.
love.
You know what? To go on with the theme of George's bottle, you know,
let's talk more about your
bottle. When you get a new drink bottle and it just makes like drinking water like objectively more enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that the last week.
That's so good.
I had it this morning.
I'm so happy to hear that.
I remember like getting the Milrose bottle a couple years ago, that fun like shaped one. Makes drinking water so fun.
The problem with that one though was you got about 20 mils of water.
It was literally
I was gonna say
it was like 3 sips.
The big thing with the CamelBak ones is like, especially in the summer, one, yes, it's keeping it warm. I mean cold, sorry. Apologies.
Or warm if you want that.
Or warm if you want that. They do everything.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, and we haven't gotten to the bottom of exactly what size our bottles are, but it is the perfect size for like when you're actually training hard and you want to have a good amount of water after your run or after your workout. Like this is like the perfect size. So it really does elevate your hydration experience. So thank you to CamelBak for sending us the stuff, and
fuck, we're good at ad reads.
Yeah, we crushed that one. Giveaway incoming in the next couple of weeks, so just pay attention to our Instagram. But so last week, it was noted before this show by George that last week we spoke about other people the whole time, and we didn't even talk about us.
Selfless.
How boring.
We're selfless. We just care about the sport too much.
And so to compensate for that, this episode is going to be completely about us. And it's not without good reason, as we are all actually racing this week, which this is the first time this has happened since, should I take us back to sound running cross country? A trip down memory lane.
I thought you were going to say the Rovereto and Lausanne weekend that went really bad for all of us.
Yeah, we all had shocking races that week. I forgot about that.
Yeah. That was actually decent for all of us. So,
yeah. We did well there. Yeah.
So
once again,
we survived the course. That was the main goal.
So this one is very exciting because we're all doing separate races and they're all very exciting in their own unique ways. And one of the questions that we got from our Q&A a few weeks ago was, walk us through a race week. Like, what does your race week actually look like as professionals? And so we're going to do our race previews, but also we'll kind of individually touch on what our week leading up to the race looks like, and especially probably those couple of days before. But I think we'll go through it in a somewhat chronological order, which means that I believe George is first.
George is up first.
So, and you're going to...
We're going
cool.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the boys, just to give you guys time to just process
digest.
the race, really take it in, and then get ready for the next one. We planned that out.
Yeah.
Coffee Club's going global. George is running Monaco steeple on Friday. Very excited. Baby. Second Diamond League steeple, and
one of the bigger Diamond Leagues for sure. Monaco's a big one.
I said that to Ritz and Haas when he told me. I was like, damn, this is sick, and I was not expecting to run in Monaco my first year doing the steeple. So pretty epic opportunity. If you can't run fast in Monaco, where the fuck can you run fast?
Don't say that.
So,
do they typically have a steeplechase there? Because Monaco is known for the 1500 until fucking Jakob came around and made Oslo.
Now they haven't had one in a couple of years.
But Monaco used to be the spot.
That used to be where everyone would run 328. Like the winner would run 328 for sure. Like it's a beautiful track. I have a bit of personal connection with that track. I haven't been there yet. My dad lived in Monton for a few years. He used to train at AS Monaco. There used to be a big fat hairy guy that would do 3-minute Ks on a bike, and he used to jump on with the other runners and do 3-minute Ks most afternoons. So he has a very special place in his heart for Monaco, and it's nice to see Coffee Club TC finally getting some
back in Monaco.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you, George. This is the question though. F1. Who are you going to be hanging out with? Which driver are you going to be on the boat with after?
I was thinking I was going on knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're racing in Hungary this weekend. I checked.
Right.
Dude, that sucks as well because also all the pro cyclists live there and they're all
on the tour.
Gone as well.
No one's there.
Monaco's going to be freaking dead. What am I going to do?
I don't know.
Just probably go to what's the big casino? Is that the Monte Carlo?
Monte Carlo.
Just go spend some money there.
Spend all my prize money.
Spend all your prize money after the steeple, yeah.
I want to know what the minimums are there. I bet you it's a lot.
More than the prize money.
Deposit on a house, probably. But yeah, I mean, what's the field looking like for Monaco, George?
For some reason, the field in the entries is very small right now. But I'm not sure if that's just because they often kind of put out an early list and then
the headliners.
As the days go by, George. As the days, they kind of add in 1 or 2 people a day. That's how the Stockholm field started, as a half field, and then I got added kind of later, and then just a few people started getting added in the last few days. So, but Albacali's back in action, and his he just ran Poland a couple of days ago.
I was gonna say it's probably
4th Diamond League steeple.
14th steeple of the season.
How did Poland go for him?
He won it, 801.
Another win by 5 or 6
He
years.
did have that interesting interaction with an athlete where he just slapped him on the head after the race.
No context
covered that, and I saw it, and I was like, wow, he was probably really tired and probably trying to congratulate the guy on a good race and just slapped him in the head. Maybe that's a new thing, I don't know.
Very funny.
He is just head and shoulders above everyone.
He's so tall.
Apart from, literally that too, but
yeah.
I was talking about how good he is at steeple.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, figuratively and literally.
He hasn't raced Gurma yet this season. I'm surprised they weren't trying to...
You think they put some money into that?
They might have tried and failed, so... Or maybe he's going to be a late entry.
I had a name for El Bakali, but I don't know if it's going to work.
What is it?
El Baklava.
Baklava. I think that
El
works.
Baklava Bakali. It's
That's
a bit of a
not
mouthful. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Do you think... Okay, I'm not trying to step on any Middle Eastern countries' toes right now, but is baklava big in Morocco, or is it more
I think it's
more Turkey.
Oh, Turkish, yeah.
So I don't know if that would be offensive.
Yeah, that's probably why I was holding back on that.
Yeah, so that one's pending.
We're pending. It's not official. But we'll just stick with El Bakali for now.
Yeah, pending.
Motion shell.
We'll wait for El Bakali. We'll DM us at Coffee Club and be like yes or no. He probably watches.
We'll put that in the pipeline and then
We'll activate it at some point.
Yeah.
I hope that comes through, because for our next spoiler on our next merch, I think we were already thinking that, because the running podcast about nothing shirt, which is by far like the best seller, our favorite, it's a kitchen. I think the next one would be to move to the living room and have all this stuff there. And then you could have like a box of like baklava there for him in the living room. Just a little thought.
If he's lucky.
Yeah.
There's an elite company that made the shirt. So well done to everyone that did make the shirt.
You know what people were upset about?
What's that?
They wanted some more. People were messaging me about more references that we missed, which I even forgot about.
There's like 40 references on there.
And I'm like, are you not satisfied? So we're gonna have to revise.
Well, that's why there's gonna be a second shirt,
and that's why we have to make a second shirt. We should end with the finale in the bathroom. The bathroom's like the last.
You have to
stage.
start making. We have to like think about that and start making more bathroom-based references for people's names. Which, I mean, it is weird that the UTI pills are in the kitchen. But those should probably be in the bathroom. So
the bowel movement.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But
it's because they're on the bottom shelf.
I didn't even notice that Cooper teardrops one is the teardrop. I just saw that just then. Wow.
Dude, it's a lot of references.
Yeah.
But
right. Well, it's all part of the race preview.
Yeah. So who else apart from El Bakali is in the field?
Big headliner, Big Bird himself.
Not Mason Ferlick.
Is making the trip.
Nice.
Unfortunately,
he's got that mile of speed, man.
Yeah,
he does.
But you've got that mile of speed too, so it's
I was
sad
to see him not make the team.
Yeah,
4th place in USA, so that's always tough. But good place to
bounce back.
Yeah, to bounce back and go to Monaco and run fast. So he'll
be
there.
He'll have you to sprint down, with.
I don't even know who else.
Yeah. Any other Americans or just him?
No. Surprisingly not Bernard or I don't know what.
Yeah, we've talked about a bit how the steeple this year has not been the most like consistent like group of. It hasn't been like a big like top 5 or 10 heavy hitter list in the steeple. I mean, they've been amazing. They've been literally the world record. Like the top 2, we've talked about how they've just been crushing it. But like beyond that, it's been relatively open. I mean, I've obviously paid a lot more attention to the steeple this year than other years. So maybe this is normal, but it seems like, I don't know, that third spot is open.
Hey man, I think the steeple is going to be an interesting one, because when you look at the racing, the pure racing of the steeple, there's way more like contention with like the top guys in the world. So it's going to be. I mean, you do have those guys that are those two, Germer and Bakali. I was about to call him Baklava again. Like just head and heels over the rest of them, like you said, George. But
head and heels. Go back to head and shoulders.
You let me finish? Head and heels over the rest.
What does that mean?
It's the opposite.
He combined head over heels and head and shoulders together.
He used head over heels for something that it doesn't mean.
Yeah, it doesn't mean head over. Yeah. Anyway,
it's too good.
Besides that, I think it's going to be a very competitive final, and it'd be nice to see some up and coming steeplers come in and stick their nose in it.
Yeah, I mean George came freaking 4th last time, so it's like just. I'm sure a lot of those really good guys, those 8-10 type runners, will be in that. Like at the end of the day, like when you get on the start line, I bet it's going to be a bunch of 8-10 guys, even if we're not sure right now. And then it'll be a matter of you running with them and hopefully working through them and just building on your confidence going into Worlds. Is this your only race before Worlds, or are you going to do some more? Do you think?
There's talk of a 1500 a couple of weeks out, kind of a local one, local in terms of near-ish to Semmelrans. But maybe we'll see how the body comes off Monaco and just play that by ear probably.
Sweet. Well,
so that's Friday, leaving tomorrow. A lot of the crew is out tomorrow. Just got the upgrade. Very happy to announce
the big upgrade or the little upgrade?
Big upgrade.
Big upgrade.
Do you know what a little hack is? You ever use seatguru.com?
Oh, not this again. I remember you telling me about this. Apparently, it shows you the most preferred seats on a flight, right?
It's actually, if anyone wants to just hack the plane a little bit, go to seatguru.com and you put in your flight and it gives you like every seat on the plane, and it like gives you like red ones that like might be bad because they like don't recline or like close to like the toilets or something. And then So in
I have seen this before.
it's actually quite useful because then at the front of the plane, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter because you just got to upgrade it.
No. But there are.
There's still better and worse seats in the upgrade.
Yeah, because you know how some of the business class seats like adjacent to the aisle, so that when like.
God, you're thought about this so much.
I've wanted to put a ban on talking about upgrades because I am not United Platinum, so I don't even I don't get upgrades or anything.
Hey, you're talking about 1K here, boy.
1K. Sorry, you guys are 1K. I don't even
not for much longer, but
I'm not part of this, and it is. I get that it's a big deal, but for those who aren't involved, it's just
it's just bullshit.
It's actually we should ban it after
I
explain because I was going to tell Olli you should pick the seat that isn't. There's some that there's like a bulkhead thing before the seat between the aisles, so you're not going to get hit by the person coming through.
Wait. So can you change your seat when you've been upgraded?
You can.
Okay, I didn't know that. Well, then I'm going to do some research after the pod. Cheers, George.
That was
that.
That was a shocking
little nugget of knowledge. But
this is all part of the race week, I guess.
It is. This is talking about race week because that's tomorrow. And
hey, you got to keep the legs, the money makers working and relaxed and
this is the closest I'm trying to race off a flight to Europe. This is get in Wednesday night, race Friday night. So the upgrade is hopefully going to help the body feel a little better.
Well, you guys are both racing relatively soon after making a long flight to Europe. Shorter for you, but 5 days for you. What are your guys' long flight routines? Do you have any, or does it just depend on the vibe?
I definitely try and do my routine before bed. I'll take a little a Ziploc bag and then put my vitamin D, my iron, my magnesium, and I'll have if you're fortunate enough to move up in the plane.
Don't say that you get
for this episode and then it's banned.
Okay, you get a little toothbrush and a little Colgate toothpaste, and I brush my teeth. I'll wash use a face moisturizer. I'll use stuff to make me feel like I'm fresh and ready for bed. Kind of stimulate my mind to believe that I'm going to go to sleep, even though I might not. But I do that. That's my routine when I'm on a long flight. I also like to mix things up. Apparently. Now, this could be an Olli fact where I'm talking absolute rubbish, but apparently you're most creative when you're in the air. Something to do with the altitude or something to do with being in a
I don't believe that
sounds
at
like
all.
bullshit.
You're most creative when you're in the air.
Who told you that?
I saw it on a reel on Instagram. But when I flew, when I was drawing or writing or doing something, and I felt like I was very much in the rhythm when I was doing it, and I believe that.
Do you think it's just because you don't have access to your phone and stuff?
Could be a factor, but that's because you're in the air.
Planes are pressurized to literally 7,000 or 8,000 feet, which is you could just drive to Ned and have the exact same.
Or flieg. But in general, I think maybe.
Wait, I didn't know that planes were. Does that mean you're getting altitude training in a plane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Got to take some more flights.
Yeah, but I'll do that. I'll try and mix things up that I do, and then I usually walk around and poke teammates. Well, unfortunately, my flight.
Now you have a Nintendo Switch, so that's probably
dangerous.
That's going to be a game changer.
That's going to be a game changer because I'm going to be playing. I haven't played a lot of the Zelda game yet, and there's so much of that game to play where I could see myself playing for 9 hours, not sleeping at all, not even moving. But I will be moving and stretching and doing exercises to get ready.
Yeah.
But I try and be good on flights.
I have a little bit. Most important thing I think is to brushing the teeth.
Yeah.
Because that puts you in sleep mode. Because that's what I do before I go to sleep normally. So then getting the teeth brushed. What
about a shower? You don't get a shower. George loves to have a shower before bed. That's George's routine.
So do I. I'm a big go to bed clean.
Do you have a cold shower before bed or do you have a hot shower?
I try and have a cold shower every day. But 1 minute cold shower every day. Sometimes it's in the earlier shower of the day, but often at night.
Yeah,
especially this time of year because
if we're flying Emirates, you could do that.
I was about to say
have a shower.
I need to fly Singapore or Emirates, sweets.
They have a shower and stuff. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, I think brushing the teeth, big game changer for flights.
I'm so on a flight, I like to get up a lot. Otherwise, I get really stiff. So I'm pretty annoying. I'll almost always take an aisle seat so I can get up a lot. But I've gone through the full spectrum of when I was a bit younger and I don't know if more serious is the right word, but I would really try and sleep on a plane, but I can't sleep at all. So I'd essentially just put my my little face mask on and like listen to music for like 7 hours straight, which gets really boring.
What's the music you listen to?
I normally find an album that I like and then I just play that. Like I'll download it before the flight.
Yeah.
So, but now I just kind of say fuck. It definitely depends if like I'm going for like a massive race. Like if I was going to World Champs, I would probably still try and do that. I would like plan out like when I should normally sleep and then I would try to do that routine. But now I just like watch movies until like my eyes really hurt.
This is the other issue with the planes though, is that every time I get onto a longer flight, like little flights doesn't really matter. There's like, I've always seen everything. But for some reason, every time I go on a longer flight, there's like a new 2 or 3 movies and I'm like, oh shit, haven't seen them. And then I start watching them and then I realize I got like 2 hours of the flight left, haven't slept. And I'm like, oh, well, great.
My favorite thing...
Nice job, Ollie.
Nice job, Ollie. Good job, Ollie.
My favorite thing is to find like a whole Netflix series and just watch that all on the one flight.
Do you know what I crashed on the way to Stockholm? Like every Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode they had on there.
Dude, I love that
That's
show.
actually really funny.
Wow.
I've like never seen it. It was only like, I think they had like 10 episodes on there.
I think I've watched the first
It was good.
2 episodes of the Tour de France documentary. I'm going to watch the rest of that.
That'd be
and then I'm
good
going to
one.
watch The Bear.
I was thinking of downloading The Bear and the quarterback one.
I'm two episodes into the quarterback one. It's
Quite good.
Yeah.
Joe loves it.
It's-
Joe recommended it. Joe quite
Joe
likes
loves
Max.
I mean, it's not surprising that they can make a really cool show out of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Do you reckon they'll ever make an origin show about Coffee Club? Like
Probably.
HBO Max, like intense music, dramatic, like just the pain that Morgan went through, 94 weeks of.
It's gonna be sick because like this will probably be on it right now.
Yeah.
So like in the future they're gonna talk about
just,
it. But when we've taken over the world,
yeah.
then
It'll be the point where Coffee Club is like one of the options on the plane. You could watch
we're our
episodes.
own entertainment channel.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Okay,
You
so
could watch episodes. that'd be great.
What
That's the dream.
how much do you think we would have to pay United to say you can only show Coffee Club like, exclusive?
Hey,
You
no,
guys
we
have
don't. No, not the island. With Singapore and Emirates.
Yeah, you guys have an exclusive deal with Coffee Club, and it'd be one of the annoying ones for like you're not allowed to turn your TV off. Like, no, you know how on the old planes they used to have the ones that come down from the roof and like everyone's watching it. It would just
Everyone
be
has to watch the same one.
it would just be that.
Oh, no.
That'd be so cool. All right, we'll make that happen
That's in the pipeline.
in the pipeline. So, do you feel like you've
Shit.
done a good job talking about your race week, George?
I feel like we didn't get to I don't even know what we covered.
Yeah.
I just covered that you're going to Monaco. The field's small, and
Today, I guess, is the start of the week because it's Monday.
Mhm.
This is the start of the race week. So we worked out this morning, low threshold, did 2 400s over hurdles. Actually feeling good again. I had a bit of a rough week last week. Not a rough, actually felt good by the end of the week, but I butchered the start of the week. Had a big workout with Olli and Mario, and not to go too far into it, but as I'm sure it's been clear, and like other people, we've been experimenting with bicarb over the last few months, and had some great experiences. Taking it for some races, not taking it for some. Took it for this workout, which we pretty much never do. It was kind of a big one we did in the evening, and I was like, I don't know what I did, but
you were seeing stars.
I was like delusional.
Yeah.
It was in the evening. It was quite hot, and I don't know if I just hadn't drunk enough, but I was like just super dehydrated. But I don't know how because the bicarb is a huge amount of sodium. If anyone hasn't been following the Morton journey for bicarb, because it's like sodium bicarbonate, so you have to have a ton of sodium in it. So I don't know if I was like retaining. Well, but then I don't know if that would be dehydrated.
I think you're pretty good at drinking water. I am not good at drinking water. I'm trying to get better at that. You're pretty good with that stuff. It could just be like
Just one of those
weed
days.
or-
Just one of those days.
Yeah.
Just
It
hot.
could be.
It was like the
any
worst
factor.
I've felt in a workout in a long of the year easily. So and then the next 2 days was brutal running for some reason. But then we had another good workout on 3 days later.
Yeah, you worked out with me, Mario, and is Yara in that one as well?
Yard came back
Yeah.
after your stage for a workout.
Yeah. So Yara was feeling good, but you did great in that workout as well.
It's been nice actually. I've been working out pretty much exclusively with the 15 boys since the last Europe trip, which has been a nice change because I was kind of just with Joe and the Jonas crew before the Europe trip. And I honestly probably find the 15 workouts like they're slightly more natural to me. Working out with Joe is just always hard, so that's been fun to run a bit faster, and so ended the week quite well. And then another good one this morning, and then leaving tomorrow night.
Yeah.
solo trip to Monaco.
Yeah.
Actually, Ritz is coming.
Ritz! I'm excited for him.
He's never been to Monaco either.
No, I'm excited for him because I think the one race when I was talking to him in the gym, the one race like he's really like adamant about going to was the Monaco steeple. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I kind of want to go.
Yeah, I want to go to Monaco.
Yeah, I feel like if the Monaco meet director, if they're ever interested in having two Aussies commentate, particularly for the steeple, you can fly us in.
Yeah.
I mean, we can even fly us in premium economy. We don't even need to be like business class flights. Like we can fly in premium economy. Me and Morgan can, do some good commentating there. I think we do a good job.
Maybe they'll bring the 1500 back.
Yeah, maybe point. Yeah, and then
sure.
And a 5K.
5K, then we can all race.
Yeah.
One happy family.
Yeah. So once you get to Monaco on Wednesday, what kind of is the plan between that and race on Friday? Just chill.
There's a good point actually. That's kind of it's nice in the Diamond League. They treat you quite well. Like I think they probably picked me up from the airport or shuttle or something. You get in. I already got a DM on Instagram saying that the winter car winter care people were there, like the Tekar machine like treatment, and I could like book an appointment already. So they're really good with like.
Interesting that they DM'd you for that.
Yeah, isn't that random?
Yeah.
They probably saw Geordie's calves online. They're like, oh, I'd love to
get my machine
calves.
on that.
Oh my goodness! And they're like, let's take those.
Let's make it happen.
They have like really nice treatment schedules at Diamond League, so that's always nice off the plane. Like I saw a pretty good chiropractor in Stockholm as well. So try and I guess it'll just be the next day pre-meet, get some treatment. Definitely go for a swim in the med.
Oh, you have to go for a swim. That's on the to-do list.
That's probably like the most like after a long flight, getting some salt water. Yeah, that's the best thing for your body.
Life.
Can you absorb electrolytes through your skin? Is that a thing?
Don't see why
not. I don't
not.
think I'm a frog, but
don't see why not.
You could always try it.
I will try.
You just sit in the bath with electrolytes in the hotel.
I mean, if it doesn't work, you can just also drink the seawater as well.
Roommate wise,
genius.
Roommate wise, though, I mean, I'm interested to see who you get as a roommate.
Could be anyone.
Could be anyone. Is Walshy doing this?
No, none of the all the Kiwis were in Poland. Me and Hamish, high jumper, we were roomies in Stockholm. That was nice. So,
yeah,
that's it.
Pretty basic when you get there. So
basic.
short before.
Try and grab a coffee.
Did Joe and Sage have been there before? I have to ask them for some racks.
Might have to.
Yeah.
Sleep a lot.
Yeah.
And then Sam Ritz on Saturday.
Yeah.
And wait for these guys.
Yeah.
Get excited about their races.
And take care. Brush your hair.
Where'd you get that from?
Meals by Cooge.
I like it. So that's Monaco. That's going to be so sick. So we're pumped to see that.
Kicking off the Coffee Club race weekend.
Yeah, the Trifecta.
In style.
Setting the tone, hopefully.
It's I don't know how to say it. It's like a Coffee Club long weekend. Like it should be a public holiday.
I mean,
everyone should probably take Friday.
Working this weekend.
People should probably take Friday off for the long weekend.
Yeah. Go to the pub and it'll be on the TV.
When would it ever happen that we're racing Friday,
race
Saturday, Sunday? Like that should be a celebration.
This is the best weekend of the year.
100%.
So
forget about world champs.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess technically I'm racing next. Yeah. Saturday. So my one's a little closer to home. A nice little trip to LA. We were discussing what race I was going to do like a month ago, and there were some other options over in Europe, and then this LA sound running meet came around and I was like, yeah, let's just go to good old LA. Just a 90-minute flight and just so easy to go there just 2 days before. So I'll leave on Thursday, racing on Saturday. Sinter's also racing 800, little couples trip with Kelsey and Colin as our, I'm not sure what roles they are in the couple, but it's going to be very nice. I mean, you guys all know when you go to a meet with like a smaller group of people, there's nothing wrong. Like it's awesome when we go with a big team, but when you go with a small group of people, it makes things so easy.
Particularly booking dinner reservations, because
that's what I'm thinking of.
That's the hardest thing is like when you have 12 people and you're like, oh shit.
Eating food, getting coffee.
Yeah.
Like there's
even transport.
Getting 12 people to agree on like a restaurant or a lunch.
Probably the biggest.
Love every person to death, but they're always going to have a different opinion. Like, dude, I just want an answer.
The biggest point of tension with our team is on like if we're in like LA or whatever, and people will wake up and go get coffee, and they just want to like chill and go get coffee. Often Ritz will give them their credit card, and you have to like buy coffee for the whole team.
Because
Ritz is really annoying.
Ritz will try and be a good bloke and be like, hey, I'll get the coffee this time.
And then you have to order like 15 coffees.
15 coffees, yeah.
So that's always a potential drama starter. But moving on from that, LA trip with just a few of us, sound running meet. Should be pretty cool. I mean, it's actually a really good meet. A lot of the good US people are still choosing to do it rather than go over to Europe, which makes sense. And so a lot of good meet people there competing. The 5K is an interesting one. The field continues to get just a little bit better every day. I don't know if you guys have heard, but I think I just saw Charles Hick's name on the start list. So
New Bowel Movement teammate?
Yeah. And I saw also, this might be wrong, but I think I saw Kieran. How do I say his last name?
Mum?
No,
the Thai Bowel Movement.
Tons of it.
But also, I'm pretty sure he just raced
Houston.
So I don't know if they just entered him in both. But then also, Kai Robinson is on the start list. And what's the FSU kid? I can never remember his name. Ahmed. Yeah. And Sam Parsoni.
He's been with Mike Smith Elite for the last couple of months. So.
Yeah, so there's definitely some really good guys doing it. And the pace is meant to be really hot. Like they said, 13:07 pace. Whether it is actually 13:07 pace remains to be seen. But, I mean, if you, know my story, I'm not... this is my first race in a long time. So I'm really trying to... I'm really trying to go out there and start off with a bang and just win it all. PB hopefully, sub 13,
and
Australian record, etc. But no, I'm actually
talk about how you haven't hit speed work yet.
Yeah,
haven't done it yet.
Just act super shocked, wow, that was really easy.
Well, I don't know where
you just only run sound meets.
I know. I don't mean to. I mean, I guess that's what happened when you're fucking injured. You can't get into diamond leagues.
Gets a little hard.
Just wait around from the cross country meet.
Yeah,
it was so good. There.
Yeah, I'm back. But yeah, expectations. I'm trying to keep them pretty low so that.
But have fun.
Yeah.
Be back racing.
I really want to do well, and I'm having some good signs of really good fitness.
He's been looking good.
Yeah, but it's just I'm just don't want to get too.
Every time Morgan goes a lap around the track, you just see the rest of the team just go, "Oof, he looks good." So that's always a good sign.
If he has his low expectations, he can absolutely crush them.
Usually when Morgan says he has low expectations, it's shit, he's gonna run really well.
No, dude, I was literally I had a meeting with my sports psych today, and I was talking it through. And I'm like, yeah, I really just 3 weeks ago I had really low expectations, and I just felt really comfortable with that, so I just want to keep that going. So I was like, yeah, it makes sense. We'll keep that going. But
yeah, that's the great thing about it though with the low expectations is you go off a race and you just crush it, and you're like, well, I guess I gotta have high expectations now.
Yeah,
now more low expectations.
I mean, the reality is with the build up, there is just a lot of uncertainty, so that is why I'm trying to have low expectations. And also the type of person that I am, I've never been a joke or Olli even, where I think you guys can more go into a race and be I want to run this time and go and try and run that time from the front. I've always been honestly more similar to George, where it's I want to be in you need to be in good shape first, but I want to be in a 13:10 race and then compete, and then hopefully I run 13:10. That's how I like to approach it. Considering I don't really know what form I'm in, I just want to try kind of feel it out, see how quick they're going, stick on the back of that pack, and hopefully feel good through the first 3K and kind of work through. Because last year in my only 5K, the Rovereto trip, we went out really hard. I was also very uncertain what 5K shape I was in for that one, and so I was fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. And it did not go very well. We all blew up really hard, so I don't want that to happen. But as the boys mentioned, the lead into this one has been pretty good. I've did my first more 5K workout last week on Monday, which went really well. Got my lactic numbers highest I've ever seen them. And then on Friday, I did lab testing for the first time, which I guess we could get into a bit. We talked a long time ago when Santerra Tech, Olov, came to visit a bit about it, and how there's kind of a group of 4 of us who they're starting doing testing with this year with the hopes of being able to do that with the whole team next year and in the coming years. And I was one of those 4, but I was pretty injured at the time when they started doing their lab testing. So this was my first one, and it was pretty sick. I think we already went through the procedure. You do a step test where they're making you run 15 seconds faster a mile in 6-minute increments. I don't know if that made sense, what I just said, to just try find your threshold levels. And the basic numbers, I haven't gotten it analyzed. The basic numbers were that my LT2 was around 5:30 pace, and then my LT1 was 4:55 to 5-minute pace, which is just extremely standard. And it's good though, because it shows I'm fit. And so that's good. And then after that, you do a VO2 max test, which is very daunting. It's very daunting to be like hooked up to a mask and be like, know that you're about to go all out on a treadmill.
Told to run as hard as you can.
Like literally as hard as you can, like until exhaustion. Like that's just a really weird thing to conceptualize. You're like, am I going to fall off the back of this? And like,
they make you sign a waiver, don't they?
Yeah, they make you sign a waiver for falling off the back of the treadmill.
And they put a mattress at the back.
There's an air mattress behind it. So I was like, wow, this is going to be legit. This is kind of scary. But I already kind of told the boys this, and like the big thing is like they have all your data. And so you're also in the back of your mind, you're like, all right, don't be a pussy. Like this is an all out test. Running all out is very painful. And you know that, and you're going to have to endure it. And you're going to have to like find your limit and kind of push through it because, you know, it's always going to kind of feel like that. But that section actually went pretty well. I think I was running like close to 4:10 pace at the end, which, I mean, I've like barely run that pace for a long time and it felt pretty good. I mean, it felt extremely hard actually. I had to stop, but relatively good, as good as you could expect. And then like my numbers were pretty good. So,
turns out Morgan's really good at running.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Big surprise there.
Yeah, got some good potential. Just got to stay healthy and keep it going. But
this is the greatest thing about this test for me, for you, is that you have all this information now. Even with the lactate testing, you can kind of see where you are. And then you just know where you are, know where your good places are, which I think is like a big factor into just like staying healthy, consistent, and then being able to deliver results.
Yeah.
Really good beneficial thing.
Had to do a lab test to find out that a 4-time NCAA champ has potential.
Yeah, we had to.
That was the funniest thing about Riz. Riz just walked in and he goes, well, it's official, guys. Morgan's talented. And he's like laughing. I was like, wait, what? He's like, oh, he's talking about the test. It's like, yeah.
It will be good to compare it like when we do previous ones and I've done more training. I really wish everyone could do it because it's just interesting. Even like because the numbers don't tell you everything. I mean, if your like threshold speed is really high, yeah, like no shit, you're really good. But like VO2 max, like all these numbers, they're just more interesting than actually.
They can't just say exactly what you're going to run on Saturday.
No, like they can't tell you anything like that. But it's really interesting to see. They can give you a bit of an idea of like what type of athlete you are, which you have to be like. You have to have the knowledge to interpret the data because I don't have that, and that's why we have like Santara Tech Consulting to help us out with that. Especially
has Olli looked at your data?
Not yet, but apparently from the test, like they can tell like if you're a 5K runner compared to a 1500 meter runner.
I should have done that fucking test years ago.
Yeah, what are you doing, George? Why do you keep racing? I mean, at the end of the day, the best test is going and doing the races, but they can. Because that was when
that hasn't worked yet.
True. Okay,
I want to do the test now too. I'm really
like, what did it tell you?
Well,
You're in the right event.
I haven't got that data yet, to be honest. But it did tell me that my fat burning was really good.
So a marathon.
Marathon potentially.
Yeah.
Because the funny thing is, this is like a little inside knowledge into some private information.
Well, we'll get the scoop.
Like Helen's fat burning is like terrible
really?
For a marathoner. That's why. That's like. One of the things that she needs to work on, and that's why fueling is so important for her because she burns a lot of carbs when she runs. So, yeah, like
interesting.
I mean, she's amazing.
She won the Boston Marathon,
but it just shows she has a lot of potential to improve, like specifically at the marathon. So it does show you interesting stuff like that. But I really hope that everyone can do it because I think we would get a really like wide range. Even though at the end of the day we're all somewhat similar athletes, like when you step on the track. It'd be interesting to see all the different kind of angles that we come at it from. And I'm excited to get my data a bit more. But at the end of the day, it was just like a really solid, another very solid like workout essentially for me last week. So I've been really resting up this week. I've had like a bunch more easy days than normal. The other thing that's been interesting is I don't know how much people listening will care about this and how much you can even like read into this, but I wear my watch all the time. So I like pay a little bit of attention to my HRV data, which is one of those things that, I mean, companies use it to sell products and stuff without, I think the research on it is pretty good, but I don't think it's like definitive by any means. But after those workouts, like it's the first time I've really seen like my HRV take big dips, which just means like you're training hard and you're tired. And then when I've been able to recover across these last couple of days, it's been going back up. So it's been interesting to see that for the first time. And maybe this is something to the double threshold, but like, if I did a big threshold day, even if I ran like 6 to 8 miles on the track, my HRV would not go down very much. But doing a much shorter in volume amount of intense training, it went down a lot. So interesting to see. Very interesting. And it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Like based on how you just feel, which I think is always at the end of the day, like the best indicator. But yeah, so that's how I'm looking going into it. I'll have the final pre-race workout on Wednesday before the Saturday race, which I think is pretty typical. Like that's probably the most typical thing we would do. Like if you, like you guys have all this travel and stuff, so that makes it a bit more complicated. But like with an easy travel race, like a pre-race workout, which is probably like half a workout or 2/3 of like a proper workout for us, we'll do. So I have like 4 800s, and then I think I have some 200s or 400s as well. And then I'll head over on Thursday and then just pre-race on Friday. Which one thing that's funny, I don't know if you guys like what you guys think about this, but I don't think Ritz has never given us like a pre-race like thing. He lets us all do mostly like the pre-race that we all learnt from either like college or before college. He just leaves it up to you.
So behind the scenes, a lot of people wouldn't see this, but Mario, Yared and I like have been racing every race together besides USA's obviously. But we'll go to pre-meet, we'll all do the same warm-up, like drills and regular running. But once it gets to like running strides or doing like maybe some like small threshold stuff, he just lets you go. And like Mario, Yared and myself, all three of us have different things that we do before the race. Which
that
is, like,
you just picked up from the past.
Yeah, like I do stuff that I did with Nick and Gavin. And like Mario has something that works for him that he learned, I think, with maybe the Spanish team or... And then Yared just kind of just like, oh, I'll do this.
It even goes to the point where our actual race day routines and warm-ups are different.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that's going to change. I think that, so some people on the team, George does it sometimes, will do some threshold in their warm-up before a race, which I'm not sure like how many people know this, but that's kind of like a more new age thing to do. Like Jakob does it.
Does
a lot of, if you go to a Diamond League, a lot of the guys running the 1500
doing that.
And just all those events are doing it. And so when we actually do the testing protocol that I did on Friday, the whole thing is written by Olaf, Norwegian coach. And so the warm-up is written by him as well. And you do threshold in the warm-up. So it was my first time actually doing it. Feels pretty good. It was like 2 or 3 at 520 pace. 2 or 3 minutes at 520 pace, which is felt pretty good.
I have not gone over to the line of doing that. I've been watching people do it and be like, oh, I'll just stick to my thing. However, for my moving forward to my next races, I am going to try it because I think it will help my body, in particular my pelvis.
Do you know the only time, well, I know you have done it, was when we paced Jakob and Joe, because we were like only pacing the next day, so then we made the pre-meet like we did quite a lot because we were like, oh, we're just pacing tomorrow, so we did like maybe we did like 2 800s or something.
I think we did 2 800s, yeah.
Which more than I would usually do, and then we did like a bunch of strides that day.
Did you do it in your warm-up as well though?
Nah.
I didn't.
Actually, that's not actually. I don't think we did. But we saw Jakob booking it in the dark around that turf field.
So I don't know the full extent of his warm-up routine, but obviously spending a lot of time with Jingy, I can see like things that he does. And one big thing that he'll do with his brothers, Fingy, sometimes is that they'll do like, I think it's about 5 minutes of like probably running 5 minute pace.
I think it's pretty structured what they do.
Yeah.
Like they'll do.
It's very much the same. And then in Rabat they did like a session that was very much like threshold, and then quicker stuff.
Well, it's interesting. The 1500 is interesting because you run a very quick pace, but then a lot of you guys come from these strength backgrounds, so it makes sense to do the threshold stuff. Because the big thing, I think we've talked about this before, the 800 guys, they'll do a really fast rep like 45 minutes before a race. Now that's kind of like, it's pretty standard in the 800 where I think it's about 45 minutes. They'll do like 300 meters at race pace, which is like a very big rep.
Using your body in cooking terms, you just marinate the chicken and then you put it on that hot grill.
Ready to go.
A sear.
Hot sear.
You want it by the time you put it on the grill to be tss. You don't want it to like have to work up. You want tss.
You need that grill to be, it needs to be working a little bit.
It needs to be the right temperature.
I think it's the seasoning of the meat.
The seasoning of the meat.
I think that's what it is.
Either way,
the race is the sear.
Either way,
pre-season.
I'm going to try it out. I'm going to give it a shot because I've been looking at my warm-up routine for my races and it's pretty shit. Like it's pretty bad. Like I'm like looking at it thinking like I can definitely do better with this.
But that's why I said I think it'll change, is because as Olaf becomes like Dathan just works more with him. I wouldn't be surprised if that's one of the things that Dathan asked him, like, what's a good protocol here? And then he tests it out with the whole team. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the thing is, like, especially for a 1500, like, the work we do to get ready for a 1500 is workouts that are, like, 10 times the length of the race. So, like, if you do something beforehand, it's not that's not like tiring you out because the volume is so low for the race that like
it's what you're used to.
It's what you're used to anyway. It's not like that's gonna.
It's very rare in a workout that your first rep is your fastest rep.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We're very used to like doing a bunch of work and then running really hard. So.
And feeling good like later in the workout.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure there is anything more that I need to say about my race week, but I'm excited to go to LA, and super low expectations. So hopefully I'm happy after it. And then after that,
14 minutes.
Okay, so I'm literally basing this off Cole Hocker. I think I told you guys this. When he went to Portland and he ran 33 or 34 in his season opener, he said, but after in his post-race interview, which I thought was like a really good interview, he said, I would have been happy with anything under 340.
I did hear that.
I remember watching that too.
And I was like, oh, that's good. Like, that's a good way to go about it. So I'm like, I would like to have a similar approach to the race, and hopefully it goes well, just as well. So
and then St. Moritz the next day?
Then the next day, fly to St. Moritz, getting back over to Europe finally. So that'll be good.
We'll be all together in those beautiful mountains.
Yeah. So that brings us to the final, what would you call it? The final third of the trifecta, I guess.
Yep. I like that.
Mr. Oliver Hoare racing at
London Diamond League.
London Diamond League.
Mario was looking at doing Silencia, and then he thought, you know what? I don't like the idea of not racing with you two boys. Let's jump into London. So me, Yared, and Mario are again racing together in the Diamond League. We've done Rabat, we've done Oslo, which was a huge one, and then Yared went off and crushed the USAs. Mario has his Spanish trials. I think it's like a week or 2 weeks.
It's the end of July.
Yeah, after this race, but this is the London Diamond League. This one I really wanted to do when I heard it got announced because it's running at the West Ham Stadium, which is a Premier League team. But it's also the Olympic Stadium for 2012. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the Olympic Stadium. After the Olympics, West Ham started playing there. So it's kind of weird that you called it the West Ham Stadium because in our eyes it's the Olympic Stadium.
That's where it is currently.
Well,
but it was the
Olympic
Olympic Stadium. And that's a big thing for me is I'd love to, because I remember watching 2012 Olympics. It was a big inspiring thing as a runner, seeing everyone crush it there, particularly in the distance and mid-D events. And that's a big Diamond League that I always wanted to do. And it's nice to see it back on the menu, as they say.
Yeah, because it hasn't been in London for ages because freaking West Ham, a bunch of buttholes.
Yeah, so Birmingham was 1 year, and then my first Diamond League ever was Gateshead, which was a shocker. Not because of the way it was run and the people and everything. It was more just the COVID time, and we couldn't leave our hotel, and it was like 36 hours
in the weather.
No sleep. Weather was bad.
Yeah.
Still ran well though. But yeah, this would be a big one for me.
I thought it was meant to be a mile at one point. Now
it
it's
was.
1500.
They changed it to a 1500, which I'm a bit.
Dude,
I'm
no,
okay
no
with.
miles in the Diamond League this year.
The reason why
maybe.
Yeah, maybe pre.
That's
But the reason why it's changed is ranking, because if you run really good 1500s, those got you can have 5 races, and more 1500s can count your ranking more than miles. So they're seeing it as a better.
Who's is someone request it? Or is...
Jakob didn't want Oslo to be a mile. I know that. I don't
so
know about
who said that in London.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Josh Kerr maybe.
Dathan.
Ritz. I don't know, but I was looking forward to doing a mile because I don't know. I think
outdoor miles are cool.
Yeah,
when you're in the form of your life, you'd like to get at least one in.
Yeah,
outdoors.
I'd love to run again, like 348, 347 if it's a quick race. If not, a tactical 350 race would be amazing as well. But yeah, coming into my race week, I've been dealing with a bit of pelvis stuff, just too much dancing. In general, I've had some issues with the inner leg. Is that the abductor?
Can you just describe it slowly? Where do you feel it?
I feel it right in my groin.
In the groin.
In the groin area.
Upper groin.
Upper groin, and also lower groin as well. But the whatever that muscle is that's on the inside of your inside. What's this region called, George?
Your leg. Your inner thigh.
Inner thigh. My inner thigh. I've had a bit of issues with that on my right side, and it's slowly getting better. And then I'll do a really good workout, and then 2 days later, I'll feel it again, and then it slowly gets better. So it's been a bit of a repetitive cycle. Jason's been unreal. He's been giving me a lot of exercises to get it better. But I think it's trending in the right direction, because I wouldn't have been able to do the workouts I've been doing if there was something severely wrong. It's just about staying on top of it. And for me, this is a challenge because I'm one of those guys that's very, very fortunate and very, very lucky that I haven't had any serious injuries in my career so far. So like dealing with this is like a very foreign aspect to me. I had my IT band after Com Games last year, and like just learning to be able to stay on top of little things and to be smart about like that sort of stuff. It's something that I didn't need to really focus on. But going into London, I leave tomorrow. I'm really excited for this one, and I don't think Jakob's running it. I think it's me, Mario, Yared, and I think Josh Kerr potentially.
It's probably like
Elliot
8
Giles,
British guys.
It's got to be mostly Brits.
331. There's gonna be a lot of good British guys. They're running crazy, really good right now. I'll be cool to see the field. I think Tim maybe Chariot is doing it. I've heard rumor.
Cheerio.
Tim Cheerio. Cheerios. Tim Cheerios. But in general, for me, like my goals, I'm gonna try and keep them high. I'd love to get top 3 in this race.
You should lower your expectations.
I'd love to win it. I'd love to get top 3. I mean, one of my dream goals, which I think everyone's goals as a professional runner, is to win a Diamond League. It'd be like the coolest thing ever. It's like winning a stage in the Tour de France.
You know, that's one thing. I mean, along with a lot of other things like medals at Worlds, etc. But our team doesn't have a Diamond League win.
Yeah.
They are hard to come by.
They are. Olli and Sage both have some seconds.
Yeah.
And Yared has a third.
Yared's got a second now.
Yeah.
You 3 have all got seconds, but Alicia's got a second place.
That's because usually the guy that wins it is world champion, Olympic champ. So it's hard to.
We're holding out for a Diamond League.
I would love to win one. I know Yared and Mario will be going for the win too. So it'll be a great race and a good tune up. Then after London, we'll head to St. Moritz and catch up with the rest of the team. The big plans that we have pre-race is to try and see the Oppenheimer Barbie double. Me and Yared have been trying to figure out
where to go pay for one of them.
Yeah, 2-for-1 bundle. We'll try and figure it out. But see, the thing is, Yared can get away with that. He's like able to like, I just buy a ticket, and he just walks in and does it, and like he's very casual and chill. For me, I feel like I get caught. Like I feel like I get caught like the guy.
I don't know why it'd be scary doing it in a foreign country, even though it's probably the exact same.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't.
It's kind of more scary.
But
imagine if you got deported before the race.
If I got arrested, yeah,
that'd be a good
not
way to
paying
go
for
out.
Barbie or Oppenheimer or whichever.
Which do you think is the right order? Barbie then Oppenheimer, or Oppenheimer then Barbie?
Me personally, I am very excited to see Barbie, but Oppenheimer is the one that I'm really excited to see. Like that's my priority.
That's the big one.
I had to choose one. So I'd love to finish on that one, even though if you walk out really depressed, because apparently the movie will hit some strings. So
I would imagine
some heartstrings, but also like just
other ones
make you depressed about like what they created and where it is.
Like that we could all die like instantly.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, we're gonna plan on trying seeing that. If there's any UK fans or people.
Do you know where you're staying? You're staying in just a normal meat hotel?
Yeah,
near like
Hyatt Regency.
Near like the Tower Bridge.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there. But any fans of Coffee Club or OAC, we're going to be around. If you want to come to the Diamond League, I'm sure maybe it might be sold out. But either way, come check it out. It'll be an amazing meet. There's going to be so many talented races other than ours, and really excited for it.
Do you think Mo Farah will be there?
Don't
Probably.
know. I mean, when we went to Rabat, I was really hoping that El Garouche was going to be there. Didn't see him. Damn. He might have been there.
Probably up in the box. Probably like in a really high up box.
The royal family was there.
Yeah.
El Bakali went up and hugged him and stuff. It was pretty cool. But
your last race in the UK went quite well.
Sorry?
Your last race in the UK went quite well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have a good amount of fans as Com Games champ, but also the Ashes are on right now.
The Ashes are on right now. Oh my god.
That's actually...
And England are losing, so they might hate you.
They might hate me, yeah.
That is crazy to think that you're finally going to be racing in a country where like saying Com Games champ like is probably very meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
No, that is really cool.
They're definitely going to say that when they introduce you.
Yeah. No,
or they're going to say something about
Yared and Mario's teammate, Olli Hall. But no, I'm London Diamond League. I mean UK in particular for my racing, like Gateshead was my first ever Diamond League, Birmingham Commonwealth Games, like racing in the UK, I've always had very special races there, so I'm very excited to go to London and race this one. So I'm hoping my pelvis will be good. I'm pretty sure it'll be good. I've been crushing training. I'm really fit, and I have good, I think, reasonable expectations.
Good.
But I think I'm really excited for this race. But then even moving on, I'm really excited to be in St. Moritz with the whole team because mostly everyone's going to be there, and it's just like St. Moritz is a special place with everyone. So.
Well, it's going to be that big build up to Worlds, so it's going to be kind of like Yeah.
That's when we'll start speed work.
That's when speed work officially starts, when we get there. Yeah, speed
That
work
final
won't happen
build up.
then. Yeah.
But it's, you guys have a massive training block going into this race. So it's going to be really exciting to see how all the boys do. And is this the first Diamond League 1500 that Jakob's not racing this year? Has he raced all of them?
I think he's raced Rabat. He's raced Oslo. Because there wasn't one in Doha, was there? Rabat, Oslo,
Lausanne, Poland. That's 4.
That's crazy. Just because I'm
It is
trying to
crazy.
think. I'm trying to think like
Lausanne,
of watching.
Lausanne, he raced Lausanne.
I'm trying to think of like a high quality 1500 that he hasn't been in, and this is it. Like the first one of the year. I mean, there's been really high quality ones, but I mean like top class. Like just seeing how the race plays out when he's not there, because it's when he's in the race, it's the most
how
like
it's gonna
obvious
go.
thing ever. This one now it's going to be on you three to go in there and shake it
Yeah,
up.
I wonder who's the spotlight's going to be on, because usually there's like one person in the race that everyone kind of focuses on.
I feel
Could
like
be
they're
Tim,
gonna,
could be Yard.
I feel like the meet will make a big deal about the
Probably Josh.
the local people
Josh
like
Kerr.
Josh and Neil.
I think Josh is like their favorite. I don't know if that's true. I mean, Neil's like they're all amazing.
Yeah, but Josh is Olympic
He's got
bronze
Olympic
medalist.
medals, so
yeah.
there'll probably be a lot of hype. There'll probably be like
Yeah.
some yogurt commercial about him or something going into it.
Unreal.
He'll probably have it at the press conference.
Yeah.
He'll be eating some yogurt or something. So, yeah.
Any of you guys in the press conference?
I haven't had word. I think they might have Yard. I don't know if they would have me or Mario, but who knows?
We'll see.
Yared in a press conference. That's always
I'd love to see
it's
that.
always nice to see.
Voluptuous indeed. So that's the trifecta. So cool that we're going to get to go do that and just all race and have some fun. Do what we love doing. And then we'll all meet up after it in St. Moritz. We'll all come together. So
Next episode coming to you from the rooftop, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it worked pretty well for the two of us.
we'll be back.
So,
We've just been looking at the weather recently, and it is not going to be warm.
which is annoying because I'm trying to pack for summer, not for like winter.
Also, it's kind of concerning going into Worlds is going to be warm. So you want some level of heat. Like you can heat train by just wearing a lot of clothes, but I think everyone would prefer to heat train by just like living in a hot climate.
Hopefully it heats up.
So we'll see. We'll
We'll
what
see.
happens.
Who
But
knows? Those
Well,
Kievan
Kievan
workouts.
will be hot.
They
Kievan
might
will
be hot.
yeah, but I've just been like Boulder's been very hot for the last week, but I've actually been loving it. Apart from the fact that we train like way too early in the morning now. That's like my main thing that I don't like about it. But
Yeah, but you're usually an early riser.
yeah, but I am. But at the same time, I love to have time in between like waking up and
You'd like to progress your morning.
running. I don't like to like feel rushed in that at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the race week.
We're still running 2 hours later than Helen.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even get us started on when she trains. She trains with the sun. When the sun rises, so does Helen.
Yep.
And then by the time we train, she's already taken her first nap of the day, which
Nap
is
of one of 3.
which is not a joke.
Yeah.
That is real. That is what it takes to be the best in the world, I guess. No, none of us are capable of that.
I can't sleep. I got too much going on in my mind.
Yeah. So that's our races. The only other thing that we really want to recap today is the Poland. Is it Silesia?
Silencia.
Valencia. Glacier. So we had, Jakob ran 3:27, blah, blah, blah. Ran really
1.14 seconds off the world record.
Great pacing from Stewie. Shout out to Stewie, especially kicking him.
Kicking him at the end, yeah.
At the end.
Stewie literally dropped him.
But Stewie just did look great. So
yeah, that's just good to see.
a great 1500. But the big one for us was the comeback of Sage, I think, after USA's, which was disappointing. I just could not believe that 2 days, she was back in Boulder, 2 days later on a plane to Poland, and then 2 days later racing like the best women in the world. So it was crazy, and she absolutely crushed it. She come fourth?
Fourth and
158.
158.0, I think.
Her second fastest time ever. So the summer of Sage is back on, revenge tour. I mean, it is sad because, like, fuck, like,
if you're running that,
like, she could do some crazy things at Worlds, but still, it's just so impressive to, like, see someone go out and do that after a very disappointing race just the week before. So,
Good turnaround.
Good turnaround for Sage. Makes us very happy. And she's also racing in London in the 800 as well.
And I think Alicia's also racing.
Alicia and Josette are racing the 5K. I forgot there was a women's 5K there.
Is confirmed as well?
Same race.
Yeah, I forgot there's a women's 5K there. So, wow, a lot of our team is going and racing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is there anything else from us today?
That was nice.
I would like to mention, which I know we're all pretty amazed by him, but Cameron Myers, 3:33 to Olympic. He's the first Australian to get the Olympic standard, and his progression, man, it's been crazy. Give him a shout out. Like,
what did he run in Australia? Did he run like 3:37?
3:38.
3:38?
Yeah.
And went over to Europe, 3:36.
And that was, they made such a big deal when he ran 2:38.
Because it is such a big deal. He's 17.
You know what it reminds me of his progression is Mario. Like his last year at college to Worlds. Like he just kept getting quicker and quicker and quicker, and it's nice to see. And he posted on Instagram, I saw it this morning, that he's not doing Budapest Worlds, which is like, for me personally, I think it's a shame, because I think the experience you can get from that is huge for him at that age, and having that exposure, and also like just obviously momentum's going his way, but also a very, very smart move, which is
suspiciously mature decision.
Yeah, very mature decision by deciding like, you know what, I think this is like the end of my year. I've had a great run of it. I'm going to refresh.
Let's get ready for the next one.
Get ready for Paris 24.
Very smart.
Very smart. Pretty awesome to see. You got to love.
Yeah. So what are you around? 3:33?
2, yeah.
And the standard was 3:35. So check
and
it
he's
off.
And he's 17 years old.
17 years old. He interviewed really well. We're
There's debate on our team whether he looks old or young. I think he looks so young, but Mario keeps telling me
he looks young.
Mario keeps telling me that he has really big shoulders.
So I think what Mario's referring to is he's a bigger boy. He's not small.
Yeah.
But he's got a baby face.
He looks
baby
so
face.
young.
He's like very physically well developed.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really mean anything.
He's got cool earrings too. He's got the two.
I do like his earrings.
Yeah, he's got good style. But he's coached by Dick Telford, and Dick Telford's
So when's he going to Oregon?
Crazy good runners.
Is he actually going to
That
Oregon?
hasn't been officially announced.
I'll be way less of a fan of him. Well, just because the Oregon thing. Not
what he should do is
he
he should honestly just scrap it, and then
Just come to OSU.
he comes to Coffee Club. We'll look after him.
We'll pay his NIL.
Jordy can coach her. We'll cover his costs, and Gus will look over the finances, see if it's possible. But
maybe we should try and get an NIL athlete.
We were talking about it on the run on our double yesterday. Yeah. We were like, you think we could do an NIL? It's a great question.
Cameron Myers would be great.
We're gonna have to go like Moneyball about this and be like what's the best value?
Statistic wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the statistics in.
We gotta do some research on it.
Yeah.
But
what would they wear? Like, imagine just them lining up with the Coffee Club visor on and NCAA champs. It'd be unreal.
That'd be so good. Also, have to give a really quick shout out to Avery because he asked me to. He left us today after being here for 2 months in the summer. He's driving all the way back to Ohio. So thanks for coming, Avery.
Thanks, Avery.
Our intern who does nothing but.
Our intern that hangs around and then orders insomnia cookies. But you tell you what, his presence is.
We're gonna miss you.
Always positive, you know.
Yeah.
Positive presence.
So that's it. Episode 95 in the books. Wish us luck, I guess. Gonna go out there and try kick some booty, but
take work off.
Yeah, take Friday off. Enjoy the long weekend, the Coffee Club Trifecta. But yeah, that's episode 95. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week.